first and foremost, to be a successful real estate investor, you do not have to have a license. And we talk about these things. There are different things that you and I do to make income and make money beyond just our buy and hold real estate. And especially when you start off, because you're small margins, low cash flow, and it snowballs on itself. So for me, what I needed to do when I was in that world is I needed a side hustle and a job to do. And it was definitely very complementary to my investment and my business. And it's something that I've actually very much enjoyed and I very
So you kind of look at that license, because I don't have a license and I'll never get one. And the reason I won't get it is because of the creative finance side. We'll talk about that in a second. But you looked at that as just a bolt on to your existing, because your career went corporate America, real estate investing to escape the rat race. And then you decided to go and get your license. You looked at that as a bolt-on to your real estate business?
And I looked at that as a tool in my toolbox to help me do deals.
Okay.
And so not everything I do, we do lease options. We do owner carry. We do private lending. There's a lot of different ways to make money in this business. Having a license is another way to do that, but it's also an above board way to act as a fiduciary and help other people invest in real estate more in a traditional model. And so I took all the principles, all the things that I learned as an investor, and I plug that into my realtor business. So it's not as traditional as just, hey, Brad, you want to go buy a house for your family? Okay. You find the house, I'll write a contract and I'll do it for you.
So that's not the approach you're taking. You're not doing your realtor business that way.
I look at that as, for me, I'm a real estate consultant. The hundreds of deals that I've done, all the things that I've done wrong, all the things that I've done right, all the experience, I use that when it comes to helping other people buy and sell real estate. And so you look at that as exactly that. You, a traditional realtor, you would send me a property on Zillow and go, hey, Brian, I need somebody to open up the door and then write a contract for me. Hey, can you do that? And you can make 15 grand in the process. People look at that because it's a low barrier of entry to actually get your license. It's like a get rich quick. When I was growing up, my father, just like he had an attorney, an accountant, he had a local realtor that he knew and trusted that would help him with those types of things. I look at my license as more as a consultant. And so you see some of these realtors are very much transactional. And I look at that example of, you might deal with a realtor that's never bought or sold real estate himself.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? If you don't have skin in the game or know how the game works, you really can't act in their best interest or their fiduciary. I also see this on the negative side. There's a lot of realtors out there that if they don't sell you a piece of property this month, they might not be able to pay for their property. And so that is like the negative aspect of the business. But the positive aspect of the business is we talk about the buy side of things. I always talk about fishing in an ocean instead of a small pond. The MLS is a pond. It's a great tool. It shows you what's active, what's sold, what's under contract right now. It helps you understand. When I'm working with buyers, I'm trying to still find that off-market old lady that has very well-maintained home, but is willing to make a deal with you and do a transaction that works out for both parties. So we do some of the same mailers for our clients as we do when you and I work as investors. We're working on pre-foreclosures. We're working on distressed property, that vacant house.
And with that marketing, you're trying to get the listings, is that right? Or are you trying to come in as a buyer?
We talked about our last podcast about that buy box.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I teach people on the buy side. Find out what you want. And we can look on the MLS and look at properties and really define. For you and I, we talk about that brick ranch all the time. You know, that's like, and I know you and I own a lot of those.
Yeah.
For somebody's personal property, and I always look at your personal residence as your most important real estate investment because that's when you get Christmas memories in. That's how property you get to live in. So some people might go, I absolutely need a walkout basement. Privacy is important to me. I need to be in these school districts. My job is to help them identify that inventory. And you know, between AI, between list building, the things that we do as investors, it's very easy to cross that over as a realtor. And that's where the business has changed. So on the buy side, what we're doing, because there's a very small subset of inventory, even in a market like we're in right now, what we're doing is trying to expand what we can find. I would say probably about 50% of my deals are off-market deals. And a great example, I had this elderly couple. They're moving in from their 2-story house to a ranch. She wants this property in this one community that backs next to open space. There's only 8 of them in that area. What we do is we put together a very nice mailer to all 8 of those. I literally get a call the day the mailer drops. Oh my gosh, me and my wife just got job transferred. We're moving to Oregon. We'd love to meet this couple and we'd love to make a deal happen. And so that is the example on the buy side of making sure you're expanding the inventory, getting more off-market stuff involved.
So wait a second. I want to cut you off real quick just so I can ask some really specific questions about your realtor business. It seems like you're doing direct marketing, right?
Absolutely.
And you're doing it from a, hey, could I buy this perspective? And then if you can't buy it, then you'll list it. Is that the idea? Or
and that's exactly, and we talk about, you get this, we talked about last one about the neighbor next door buying their house too. When you're active in the market and you're doing deals come to you. Yeah. And that's exactly, if we can't find the right solution for that client, like maybe this doesn't work or that doesn't work, then we help them in the next thing. And that transitions into the sell side. I approach a sale. Remember when we were doing fix and flips? I remember it was 11 o'clock at night. You and I are painting a door, getting everything perfect.
You were painting the door. I was in the car. Just kidding. I don't know how to paint.
But, and that's exactly, it's like we're making sure everything is perfect. We're doing as much marketing around it. We're making sure this property looks pristine because you never have a second chance to make a first impression. So on the buy side, what we're doing is starting off by just trying to get as much inventory as possible. On the sell side, what we're trying to do is drive as much traffic. We did the exact same thing with rentals. I want people tripping over themselves to get into our door and to look at a property so we can generate as much demand, bid the product up, or get the best offer possible. So typical realtor is going to be, hey, I'll put a sign in the yard, I'll put it on the MLS, and eventually it will sell and you can give me a check. My mentality is, what are the small things that we can do to make your property look as good as possible? Some of it's just like hiring a professional cleaner. Some of it is our online marketing is so key right now. We do a lot of stuff with that Zillow showcase. We do a lot of stuff. I know you use my friends over at Cinefly. I don't even want to use their name on this podcast.
It'll be too busy.
Yeah, I don't want them to be like, no, we're doing a shoot for Brad right now instead of you.
I'll put it this way. They came through. They did, of course, they did the pictures, but they did this drone picture, a drone video. Went through the entire house, upstairs, downstairs, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, through the door, out the back door, all that kind of stuff. One of the best videos I've ever seen in my life. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button right now. You don't want to miss the next episode. Every week, we drop practical money strategies and real stories that'll change the way you think about wealth.